Hi, we're the Nails. I'm Carissa.
I'm Corey.
Since we met 2 years ago, we have been intentional to do a lot of things in the way we spend our time, the way we spend our resources, our relationships, all of the above. But as we came into 2026, we realized that there's a lot of distractions and things in our life that are keeping us from building the life we actually want.
So here we are trying to prioritize the life that we want through intentional living and being present in every moment that we're given. And also at the end, part of this life that we're building is to also become financially free. We're going to share what our goal is this year to tackle when it comes to debt.
So a little bit more about us. We are the Nails. We have a little baby boy who's 8 months old. His name is Atlee Jazz. We love jazz music, which is...
Hence the name.
Yeah. We are in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we absolutely love this city. We have a whirlwind of a love story. We met 2 years ago. We actually were set up by his best friend, who's one of my great friends, and we fell in love very quickly, got married 5 months later. 3 months later, we found out we were having a baby, and here we are.
I do construction here in Chattanooga, and I'm also a grad student. Hopefully going to get my master's of ministry by the end of the year. And in addition to all that, I love doing art. I've got a lot of goals this year trying to do different types of art, new art.
Currently whittling. I am a birth doula. I have been in the birth space for about 5 years and helped over 60 families have really intentional and beautiful births in hospitals and homes and birth centers. We got to have a home birth this year, so I'm very passionate about that and empowering women. I also traveled the world. I did a mission trip that was 11 countries in 11 months. So have been to a lot around the world, and we love going to new countries. So the things that we like to do together are obviously the outdoors, hiking, camping, paddleboarding, kayaking, all those things, because Chattanooga is the perfect place for it. And we also love making our house a home. We bought a home this year because he has been in construction. I can just dream up something and he makes it happen. So we have busted down a couple walls and painted every room. And so that's one thing.
Minimalism is not accepted here in this house.
No, I've tried and I'm a full maximalist. So, but just making our house cozy and a place to host our community and have people over for long dinners. And yeah, and we love that. And watching Atlee grow.
So we want to share a few of the challenges that keep us from our goal of living this intentional life that we're trying to create. And one of the first things that I feel like I need to mention is my health. That this the start of winter has been really hard. I've been in the hospital. But to add to all of that, the fact that it's winter and being indoors all the time, it's not the easiest. I don't mind a little coldness, but my wife here, she's
a summer girly.
She's a summer girly. So those things are challenges. They're not things we can't overcome, but they're challenges to the intentional life we want to live.
It's hard to be motivated in hibernation mode. So
yeah. The next thing is busyness without purpose. We go through seasons where we're busy. We've often found ourselves filling our calendar with other people's to-dos and not ours. If we're going to be busy, we want there to be purpose behind it. The goal is to slow down a little bit, be present in the moments that we are in.
So one of the other challenges is distractions. And we have noticed that with screens, whether it's TV, social media, or our computers, we find that the day goes by and we have not really been present in a lot of moments. As we're raising Atlee, where we want him to be present and not distracted, we're trying to be more intentional about that time. The final way that we have seen as a challenge is our debt and finances. We are not super great at budgeting. Our debt has gotten out of hand this year.
It holds us back from being able to do the things that we want to do. It is also just this dark cloud over everything that we do. I feel like debt is a huge challenge that we're facing this year. All right, so we have a game plan of how we're going to overcome these challenges that keep us from building this life that we want. The first is building this calendar out with the things that we want to prioritize over what other people try to add to our to-do list. A few of the things that we have on our calendar that we looked at for the whole year, we both put some contemplative weekends on the schedule where we're going to slow down and take some time to be with the Lord. The next is the church calendar. So we want to be intentional about the liturgical calendar. We're both Christians. We didn't really grow up with church calendar. Things like Advent around Christmas time and Lent around Easter, and even now, the season that we're in, which is Epiphany, we want to be intentional about living in those moments within our church community, within our faith. Finally, just trips for connection. So we have a few trips planned throughout the year that we are going to have zero phones and just be present with each other on those trips. And we put them on the calendar so that if people try to come and add other things to our calendar, we've already kind of blocked it off for the year.
Yeah, most likely they'll be camping or staying in a friend's house, or like a friend's Airbnb. So we don't have to spend money to make these meaningful adjustments. Yeah. We kind of learned this trick last year. If there's something we really want to do in the outdoors, we schedule it for 2 weekends in a row. That way, if the first weekend gets rained out, we have the second weekend ready to go. We do that to float the river. We do that. Now we're doing that for camping. So we have scheduled that for 3 times of the year. The next category that we're focusing on is health. There's several different factors in that. One is Corey's health, just waiting to get test results back. We have no idea what that looks like. But it is causing us to slow down, which is nice, and rest, but it's kind of an unknown. It also plays into winter, just being a hard time. January and February are kind of a slump, and my friends, we've all accepted that this is just hibernation times. As far as exercise, that's just hard to be motivated. We are getting outside more. I'm using this app called 1000 Hours. You can track, press play every time you go outside. We're going to do that as a family, and you can earn badges for how many hours you spend. So the goal is to spend 1000 hours outside by the end of the year. And also just being postpartum, when my body just does not feel like my own. Exercising has been hard, and so challenging myself to stay disciplined and just to be healthy for the son and future kids that we're going to be raising.
The next thing that we have scheduled for Gameplan is to go against the distractions. We're going to have no TV Tuesdays. We're going to, during Lent, we're going to have no technology in the evenings at all. Lights will all be done by candlelight. There's not going to be any TV on. We're going to take a lot of the distractions that pull us away from being intentional. We're just going to completely get rid of them during Lent. And who knows, we may continue that into the rest of the year, but we'll see.
And that may sound scary. It is honestly scares me a little bit because at night it is so easy to get on your phone or turn on the TV, watch a movie. I literally have a list of bored. Here's all these options. We love doing things with our hands, art, crafts, things like that. We've tried to practice Tuesday nights without technology. And so we've done that in the last year. We're just going to be way more consistent and intentional this year. The fourth way that we are going to be more intentional this year is to conquer our debt. A few ways that we're going to do that is to really crack down on our budget. The first thing we did, which is our next video, is we cleaned out the fridge, and we are going to only eat what we have in the fridge and in our pantry and before we go grocery shopping again. So that's just a sneak peek.
We want to be intentional with what we're putting in our bodies, with how we're spending our money. Budgeting is going to help us do that.
We also have a strategy to bring our credit card balances down. We are going to have videos specifically targeting those, different ways that we're going to tackle those. The third thing is just new endeavors, such as this YouTube channel. Also just different ways that we're trying, little side hustles that we're going to try to add some income so that we can pay off our debt and save for the things that we want to do, and also just be more generous. When you have a surplus of money, you can be more generous with those around you, and that's a really important value to us.
We're going to share some strategies, what works for us, what doesn't work for us. We're going to be vulnerable. It's going to be hard, but we want to really share the behind the scenes and bring you along the journey with us in this game plan of overcoming all of these challenges. What is this channel going to be about? The goal in this is to create a community. One, it's going to help keep us accountable. We are sharing a lot with you guys, but our goal and our hope in this is that we are going to tackle some things that maybe we wouldn't have if we hadn't put it out there. With that, there's a bit of an irony in like trying to go and get less distractions in our life, whether it's tech or social media, and yet here we are doing tech and social media. The irony is not lost on us. It is something that I'm still wrestling with. I believe that this can be intentional. We did make a plug at the beginning of the video about sharing our debt and what our goal is to get rid of it. We're currently at $58,365. Now that is without...
The faster you say it, the less it hurts.
Yes. We're going to talk more on what the debt looks like and what our goals are to get out of debt.
We want to prioritize the things that are important to us with raising Atlee, and things like less toys and more memories, more adventures. So if you have any ideas like that, drop them in the comments and we would love to meet you.
Welcome to our intentional life.
Kitty.
Test.
Okay. Oh, and also...
Kitty.